Hey guys, this is miicrow here. I thought I would make a little guide for the event here in terms of how to maximize the amount of drops that you're getting per time that you're going to be spending for this event. There are three ways to get, well, really four ways to get drops within the event. The first one is you can get three of these exequiate gift piles. They exist in every single major town. They give you diamond gypsum, they give you some presents. You open up the presents, you get tokens, you get a lockbox. You open up the lockbox, you get gold. So it's like basically an easy way to kind of get gold and to get stuff for the event. The main thing you're going to have to do for this event in general is you're acquiring these winter tokens. Use an AZA file with those, you create premium tokens and use those premium tokens to get drops. Those drops consist of daily mats that are otherwise very, very difficult to acquire from a normal New World perspective. So those daily chromatic seals, or sorry, the daily chromatic seals, you can get them once every 3 days from the event. The Azoth inductors, you can get them once every 7 days that you would normally be able to get from the faction vendor for 5k and 25k gold respectively. You're going to be able to get those a lot faster. So in order to get those, you definitely want to be hitting these presents every day. There is also the Winter Warrior event. This spawns in a few different spots. One spawn is here, one spawn is down here. In terms of Brim, there's a spawn up top here. There's a spawn up top over here that I've seen. Evan, there's a spawn here. There's a spawn down here, I believe, like in this area. And both of those are hittable as well. And there's one in Shatter Mountain up top here, and then there's one in Shatter Mountain over here. So it's like you basically just rotate between those spots. These will give you a drop that can be exchanged within the Winter Warrior specific areas, or sorry, what do you call them? The Winter Convergence specific areas, which are marked with this little star-like symbol with 6 pegs coming out. That exists in Monarch's Bluffs. It exists in Brightwood, I believe. Yeah, the top left here in Brightwood, and exists in Weaver's Fen, as well as Everfall. And all of those will also have a gift sack that you can get stuff from as well. So all of those are different ways to like get tokens from the daily event. You can do that event more than one time a day, but you'll only get the daily reward once, so it's important to try to get that daily reward at least one time when you're doing this. The next best way after all those dailies to get presents is this Monarch's Bluff rotation for floating presents that still exist in the game. Floating presents, the gimmick here is if you shoot them, knock them down, they'll give you 20 presents or lost presents per. You could trade 3 lost presents for 1 regular token. And basically the floating presents will give you 20, the ones on the ground will give you 1. So it's not really worth picking up the presents on the ground, they're kind of worthless to be honest. But there's this Monarch's Bluff rotation where there's a present that starts here, there's a present down here, there's one here, there's one in the middle of this forest, there's one that spawns over by the coast, there's another that spawns down here by the coast, and if we move down to the south part, there are a few more, I believe, like in this coastal area, like 1, 2, or 3 more, like roughly in that area. But I'll show you guys that with a video here at the end where I show that optimize. Basically, that rotation takes 5 minutes. You're able to get 67 tokens from that, so that's like relatively good. It's better than the Winter Warrior in terms of the amount of time it takes to acquire those, so it's super nice. There's also like another spot, I believe. There's a lake. I forget exactly where the lake is. I want to say it's this lake right around here that you can run around, and there's like 5 present spawns here. There's a few different spots that those present spawns exist. There were some tools in the previous version, or like older versions of the New Worlds, that like actually showed those spots exactly. I have not found a tool that specifically shows all the floating chest location spawns or the Gleamate spawns. So let me know if you guys have found that. There's also Gleamite, as I alluded to here, which is basically a giant meteor that falls out of the sky. I find this to be like kind of hard to predict and sort of RNG to get, so I wouldn't recommend trying to farm it super extensively, but if you come across it, definitely try to get to it quickly, because it will give you a decent amount of presents. Overall, I think the best strategy for this is to basically keep this present rotation on a 30-minute cooldown, either if you're doing the Monarch's Plus one, or if you're doing the one over the lake, or you're doing multiple of those. And then in between those, you go to the Forever Winter event and you complete that. I want to show you guys one of the kind of event areas. This character hasn't actually been to the event area because it's my EU character, and I thought I would get on this one because there's less people online right now, and the game will be more likely to be more stable since the game's been crashing a bit lately. But overall, like you're just trying to get these tokens as quickly as possible. Those tokens will be exchanged for goods. I would recommend doing chromatic seals. The Azoth inductor, if you can roll stuff, is definitely worth it. But I don't think most people are able to like really roll their own gear. If that makes sense. Like they'd have to have everything maxed out, have the trophies, and it's like in general like pretty expensive to be able to roll your own gear. If you are able to roll your own gear, this is like a really good opportunity to get gold, and it definitely feels like in this version of New World, like it's very important to try to max out some of these trade skills if you can. If you don't have trade skills maxed out or even leveled up, like you definitely are at a significant disadvantage in terms of making gold within the game, and you overall are kind of limited to kind of flipping stuff onto buy orders. But if you come to this area, if you want to exchange your tokens, you go to the Holiday Hut. In here, you could exchange recovered presents, a Gleamite, or winter hail spikes, which you would get from the winter event. And then from there, once you get exchange these, you'll get winter tokens. Those winter tokens could be exchanged with premium tokens, which is why you need those vials of suspended Azoth. And then with those, you can come over to this vendor. I'm not going to have it leveled on this character because it's the first time I've done it on this character, but you get levels by just participating in the event. And with this, you can unlock stuff like the Azoth inductors or chromatic seals. It takes a lot of time to unlock the Azoth inductor and the chromatic seals, to be honest. But you want to be getting these as soon as possible because they will be on a cooldown cycle that you want to be keeping as low as possible to maximize your chances of the rewards. If you optimize this completely, do the chromatic seal once every 3 days, do the Azoth inductor once every 7 days, you should be able to get around 4 Azoth inductors and 10 chromatic seals. If you did not do this yesterday, you're not going to be able to get that 10 chromatic seals, you're only going to be able to get 9. But that's still like a very, very good gold value, right? Because this is effectively worth 50k. If you get 4 of these, it's effectively worth 100k. So basically, if you put the time into the event, it will definitely reward you, but it takes a lot of time to do so. The skins are also like relatively expensive, and there's some pretty cool emotes there as well. So basically, the more time you spend in this, the better it'll be rewarded. But I would just recommend doing the kind of open world of running, zerging around, defeating this boss, because it seems to be the generally the easiest way to get stuff. But if you want to get creative with it, the floating present route is technically more efficient, but you can only do it once every 30 minutes, and it takes about 5 minutes to do. So with that being said, let me know if you guys have any questions or any specific tips for anyone in this video. And overall, have fun, get those chromatic seals because we know how expensive those are. And enjoy your day, and I'll see you guys in Eternal. Juiced, thank you for the raid. We're about to go to bed too, but we're doing a present farm. It is less efficient than the Yeti, but it's chill. It's still pretty efficient though. Is this the fastest way to progress the event? I think it is, but just barely. The Yeti is like very, very, very close. when the lightweight's going a bit early. Oh, the servers are going down in like 3 minutes, man. You guys discover anything interesting? We found some bugs, but it's like relatively minor stuff. So each one of these presents, if you get 3 of them, it's worth 1 token. For reference. Yeah. So we're just trying to get like the last couple tokens here. I think there's sometimes one that spawns over there, but let's see it. So they're gonna fix the server not crashing enough. If they mess it up. A minute or two here to get the last couple presents. I think that's the last one. There might be one more though that I'm forgetting about. Ones on the ground are like really aren't worth picking up. They don't give enough. I think that's the last one. Oh no, there's one behind this rock. There's like one back here, I think. So that's 200.